If I was a residential building, I would have been killed 22 years ago. In Japan, the average age of a residential building before it's demolished is 32.8. His urban ideas for city planning were terrible. It's just wrong.
皆さんこんにちは。ザ・ビッグインタビューへようこそ。今回のゲストはデザイナーのトーマス・ヘザウィックさんです。Welcome to WIRED.jp.
Lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. ヘザウィックさんはこれまでにシンガポールのザ・ハイブですとか、あと今ニューヨークの名所になっているベッセルやリトルアイランドなど世界中でとてもユニークでかつオーガニックな人の感情に訴えかけるような建築を手掛けていらっしゃいました。ここ今撮影をしている麻布台ヒルズでも都市の中に村を作るというようなコンセプトで全く新しい挑戦に取り組んでいらっしゃいます。そんなヘザウィックさんに今回は都市の未来、この都市をどうすればヒューマナイズして人間らしさを取り戻していけるのかについて、ぜひ伺っていきたいと思います。So you wrote an article for Wired at the end of the 2024 and the title is It's Official, Boring Cities Are Bad for Your Health. Is that really true?
I've been working now for 3 decades, and when I began work, my urge was not to express myself. I wanted to make the world better. I have had a chance to reflect, particularly over the last 5-6 years. We've had a digital revolution in the time that since I started my studio, and the seriousness has grown. We used to have to go into a street to buy your food, to go to work. You had to leave your home. But now it became clear there's a blind spot, that we have an epidemic of loneliness, and it's amazing an industry as big as oil and gas has not been measuring the impact our buildings have on society, on the billions of people who spend their lives going past and around. Buildings are no longer 8 meters wide or 10 meters wide. You end up with buildings that are 100 meters. It's not worth a property developer doing a project unless it's 100 meters, 200 meters. And suddenly, the interesting thing is that the researchers, the neuroscientists looking at neuroaesthetics and how our environment affects our brain are showing that it's like ultra-processed food. We now understand that ultra-processed food is not good for our stomachs, but it took us a long time. And when I was little, my mother was on a macrobiotic Japanese diet.
Oh, wow.
So this is in 1983, 1984, and my friends would come to my house and look at seaweed and umeboshi plums.
Really?
And be like, what? You're a hippie. You're like, and it was like freaky. Now look, the whole world understands that ultra-processed food is low nutritional value. But we are still in the equivalent of half a century ago and not understanding that buildings, it's not just about beauty and ugliness. That's not the issue. And it's public health. We can measure how our brains respond.
Wow.
There's things like skin conductance sensors. You can just see physiologically how the body in front of the plainer, shinier, flatter, more monotonous, anonymous and serious buildings. How does the body respond? And then you can compare with a less monotonous, less flat, less plain, less serious, less shiny building. And what's so interesting is this stress hormone, cortisol, spikes in front of the buildings that are more plain, anonymous, serious, shiny. And the dirty secret in the construction industry is that when society doesn't care about buildings, we demolish them quicker.
The cycle is faster and
it's
faster.
Amazing. In Japan, the average age of a residential building before it's demolished is 32.8 years. So if I was a residential building in Japan, I would have been killed 22 years ago. In the UK, it's 70 years. In America, it's 55 years. When society doesn't care, those buildings get demolished. And the carbon impact, the dirty secret is that it's 5 times the greenhouse gas emissions of the aviation industry. And society talks about the aviation industry and doesn't talk about construction. We care about the people inside the buildings. And we talk about the client of the buildings and making the client
in that building.
But most people are outside. New buildings tend to be for well-off companies, well-off residential things. But a 14-year-old who will never work in that building, who will never live in that building, what does the building give?
So you really change that perspective.
Or is it taking from society?
Yeah, but that's why now you're even published this one in Japan and saying these important message to everyone living in Japan and Tokyo.
Cities all over the world look at the main new districts. The buildings are fatter and wider and bigger, but us humans, we're still the same size as we were 500,000 years ago. In the past, buildings were maybe 8 or 9 meters wide, which meant it almost didn't matter what design someone does on a public street, because if you walk for 300 meters, it means, and a building is 10 meters wide, you're going to get 60 different impressions, different doors. So you're getting a visual complexity. And when you have a building, and I'm designing buildings now which are 300 meters wide. So suddenly, imagine one facade for 300 meters. 4.5 minutes of your life walking. It's a bit like if I suddenly go,
never change the
for 3.5 minutes. It's not calm. Actually, our streets are rooms. They're the public rooms. And the buildings are the walls of public life. And they need to love us and have a duty to serve us, who will never make any money from those people going past. You'll never work inside me, you're never going to buy anything inside me, but I still have a duty to you.
Last year, your partner, Neil Hubbard, gave us a video lecture keynote for the WIRED Regenerative City Summit, and they talk about how to regenerate the city itself. We who live in Tokyo kind of start thinking, oh, that's too many big, boring, plain buildings, especially in the center, or especially by the Tokyo Bay.
You do say that. You do feel that.
Yeah, everyone feeling that. So then, our regenerative city is not only about regenerate nature, but regenerate culture, regenerate human relationship or communities. But it's always stopped by the economical judge by the developers. How to make then the right answer is just boring buildings. So how could we stop it?
But developers are practical people.
Yes.
That's why they make their new buildings sustainable. It's because they know they will, if you don't mind me swearing, they will look like an arsehole if they don't. But there is no public conversation about are you an arsehole if you make your buildings with no generosity to passers-by. And the other thing for me, particularly in Japan, is that to me Japanese people are joyful and humorous. I know there's many sides to the Japanese personality, and that humor can be there in new buildings. And I think we're scared so often. The image around architecture is it must be serious, always serious. And it must be honest and clean lines and pure and subtle. Subtle. Whenever someone says this new building is subtle, I always think, oh no, subtle is very good when it's a mobile phone or a tablet.
This scale.
This scale, subtle is great. Less is more, form follows function. Honest, subtle, clean lines. At this scale, that's really right and calm and true. But at a city scale, it's actually not.
I see.
It makes places that are stressful.
Yes.
And we need streets to feel human scale.
I'd like to ask the one quite wired-ish question.
Wired-ish
question. You often said, that your goal is making the physical world around us better for everyone. And now, for example, like a metaverse, we will making more information universe. As you mentioned, we will not go shopping to get the tofu anymore. So, which one we should put that in an information universe, and what we should keep in a physical
That's
universe?
well expressed. That's a very interesting way to put it. Yes, it's an experiment of which one is it?
Yes.
How much this, how much that. The internet was very exciting when it began, and it felt like this amazing democratizer. We were going to all see each other.
Yeah.
We would understand like this big, happy family of knowledge and togetherness.
Yeah.
But actually, the sad thing is that those algorithms divided us.
Yeah.
Actually, divided, often people are more toxic to each other and say horrible things.
Polarized and just fight each other.
The funny opposite is when people are together, often, even if they disagree, the humanity comes across, civility breaks out. So where will we come together if it's not our streets? And the head of urban design in Singapore said something quite powerful for me. She said, buildings don't tell stories anymore. And we've had this global similarity.
Yes.
And we all actually are stories. We are storytellers.
Yes.
And we listen to what people talk with each other about, their stories, humor, silliness, joy. We need to be with people. It doesn't mean talking, just to be around, just to walk, to feel, to watch society. I think it's different, it's an alternative, but I think that we are thirsty, hungry for physical proximity.
In this book, you're inspired by Gaudi when you were young, and you really just put the name of the Le Corbusier as a kind of the big enemy as a modernism architecture. But then I would like to make it clear that if we have to modernize the architecture or cities or the street, I think it's not only going back to the old time, like Edo period era in Japan, or sometimes Greek or something.
I'm not attacking Corbusier's genius as a building designer. One of my favorite ever buildings was by Le Corbusier.
Okay, I see.
But we have to look from a sensitive point of view to our humanity. And even though Corbusier could be an absolute genius building designer, his urban ideas for city planning were terrible. Absolutely
kind of master
terrible.
Plan. Yeah.
We go through these 7 things. He said streets should be abolished. He said that cafes are the fungus, I'm quoting him, the fungus on the pavements of our streets. And he's just wrong. He said we should destroy all the old towns of cities. We know when you go to a city, a new city that you haven't visited, what's the bit you most want to go to? Probably the old town, because that's the bit with character and personality. And he said that the silhouettes of the skyline of buildings, when they had steeples and spires and towers and alternation, that was a gash on the skyline. He said that decoration was for savages and ornaments. He's just wrong. And But himself,
Mhm.
he's a brilliant decorator.
I see.
Himself, he didn't always make everything square.
Uh-huh.
So I'm deliberately using him because he was the most influential.
Yes,
It's actually not the style.
I see.
And when we have that bigness, you have to be much more clever about how you break down the bigness.麻布台Hills really was one of the chances my studio had. It's a very large project with residential, retail, galleries, but it's got visual complexity.
Yes.
We broke it down and we integrated nature. We used nature as a technique to break it down. We used many techniques to make it have visual complexity that we hoped would make it engaging. We could have built a big box, but we didn't.
No.
And so what I learnt when I was looking at health buildings in Britain, which are the worst buildings in Britain,
Really?
I got to meet the Chief Medical Officer of Great Britain a number of years ago. And I asked her, why are the buildings in health so bad? First she said, I'm not in charge. And I thought you were. And she said, no, the health service in Britain is broken down into many trusts. And each one have leaders who are busy, haven't got enough time, haven't got enough budget. There's many, and she said something that is the only way you'll make change is with patient pull. It's like an obvious thing that I hadn't fully realized. If I simplify, is that in our industry, and in architecture industry, we are always here looking up, wishing like, when will the clients and property developers give us more chance to be creative?
I see.
When will the politicians give us more chance? When will the city planners realize that we can be so good? We look upwards like this.
I see.
Real change happens not from there. So what she was saying was that when the patients speak, leaders have something to listen to, because that person's head is full. But when the patients speak, so what it's really saying is that a half decent leader listens. So when I then went into the street, the public don't speak.
Yeah.
We feel powerless. You walk down the street and you think, I'm not an architect. I'm not a property developer.
Yeah.
I'm not a mayor. I'm not a city official. So that's where I realized that actually we're looking in the wrong place. If there is a public conversation, if school children know, the pressure is the reason every corporation, every headquarters has to now be sustainable, have real, meaningful, sustainable features. They will feel empowered to say buildings must be more human, knowing the public think that.
We are really encouraged this time, and we could make the course to better way to humanized future. Great conversation. I'm so honored to meeting you.
I am.
Thank you.